All right. Let's get into joint practice from today. We're going to start on offense, although that wasn't really the highlight of the day. We won't spend a whole lot of time on it because I really want to get in the defense, which they absolutely balled out. Obviously, this is a joint practice with the Indianapolis Colts from earlier today. Actually, let's do this. Let's lead off with the injury news, okay? Let's lead off. What is your all's prop?
No, sorry. Affam says he's beating Emilio in Madden in the future.
That'd be rough.
All right. Wes Aquid said Matt LaFleur said Jordan Love's thumb procedure went well, and they'll see how much he can do next week. QB1 isn't practicing today, but still doing his trademark handshakes with the running backs. I'm going to roll this along here. You see him out there with the guys, but you'll notice the left hand, boys. We got a cast out there. We got a cast on it, right? See it? You can turn around. He's hiding it pretty well right now. So he's got that thing casted up, and we'll hear from Jordan here in a second.
The white sleeve is a good call to hide the white cast.
Oh, yeah.
My man knows what he's doing. Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Definitely. Ryan Wood said Jordan Love has his red number 10 practice jersey draped over his head and a cast over hood surgically repaired over his, I think he meant. I think he's been drinking today, over his surgically repaired left thumb 2 days after his operation, not practicing today, but in attendance with the team. And then I wanted to get into what Jordan Love had to say. We got a couple of videos here where they were interviewing him. Let's see what Jordan Love had to say real quick. Shouldn't be too long-winded. Matt Schneidman tweeted this out. Jordan Love says he probably wouldn't have gotten away or gotten surgery if this was the regular season. Here we go.
So that was part of the debate is, whether you get surgery or you don't get surgery. If this is in the middle of the season, it probably would have been something that we didn't get the surgery on. But, with it still being early and I'm having time to recover and be fully ready for week one, the recommendation was for the surgery.
That's all I wanted to hear, boys. Fully ready for week one. So, again, he's not going to come out and go, I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'll be ready for week one. He's not going to say that, but I think everything is going as planned. This is all precautionary. As he said, I believe he said in another video too, might be right here, Jordan Love refers to the time he'll miss as a couple of days. He says he'll start practicing again next week. Now, he did say that if there had been a game, they would not have had it surgically repaired. Like if this was regular season, they would have just rolled with it. And it was something that they probably could have managed throughout the season. So what's your all's take on it? Jordan Love and the thumb injury here.
Well, you got it taken care of, right, Jacob?
Yeah, no, I agree. When Matt LaFleur was asked about it, they said, it's going to take him a couple weeks to get into the groove. And he said he'll be throwing next week. So to me, that is, it's a little concerning to like Coach. I know Coach seemed like he was worried about it in a previous comment. And now he also said it. It doesn't look good or doesn't look like a couple of days. I think they're just being super overcautious, trying to protect that non-throwing hand. And I'm pretty confident, Coach, it will be kind of a nothing burger in the next couple of weeks. It'll kind of settle. And I could obviously be wrong. I'm not a doctor. You know that. But just the way that even Matt, Matt's usually very kitschy with the way he answers the reporters. He was straight up like, no, he'll be for throwing the ball next week. So if that's the case, I do believe that if this was mid-season, early season, end of the season, that he just gut it out. But why not get it done if you can,
Right. Some other injury news here. Emilio Matt Schneidman tweeted out, Jaden Reed is out of his walking boot but not practicing. He walks out to practice here in Westfield with Romeo Dobbs, Savion Williams, and Dontavion Wicks. All also not practicing. Christian Watson obviously out too. I don't know if you can see him walking across here, but he's out of the boot. Right there, you see him in the front leading the way. Do we notice a limp at all? Kind of does look a little limpy, or has he just got that swag? He might have.
Clay, I think that might be a little bit of swag. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's tough though. You see your top. I mean, you see basically your top four receivers not here, right? I was thinking for a second, who's out there catching the ball for Malik anyway right now? Exactly. I mean, Matthew Golden's the only one out there. I mean, he is getting the reps in. He's running extra. He's got extra sprints. Dude's going to be conditioned at this point.
Yeah. Aaron Rodgers, I love it. We're getting into the body language now. We're getting into good stuff. He said, the video of our wide receivers walking down the field looked terrible body language. Call me an old man, but I didn't like the body language. There's the body language right there. Walking the mile. remind you of. Now, listen, it's why we've got to look at the offensive side of practice today and go, okay, let's don't freak out here. They were missing a ton of people, right? Defense, however, boy, oh boy, that was a lot of fun to see those updates, and we'll get to that here in a second. So let me ask you guys real quick, and then we'll get into the overall injury report and then the offensive side of the practice. What do you guys think about Jaden Reed? Do you think he'll be ready week 1 or no? Emilio, go.
Yeah, I think he's going to be good to go. It's kind of like a Jordan Love thing, a little bit more time, but you have this week, finish up the rest of this week, you have next week, then you have another week off, right? And then we play the week after that. So, I mean, we still have almost 3 weeks till game time. I think we're totally fine.
What about you, Jacob? You think he'll be ready to go week 1?
Yeah, it's starting to make me a little more nervous than I wanted to initially admit. I mean, like we all just talked about, Dobbs, Reed, Wicks. It's getting tougher and tougher to kind of just smile through the news mill, the rumor mill, that sort of thing. But if anything, it would be more of like we don't want to force him back just to get him back, and maybe we feel more comfortable with the depth we have at wide receiver. I want to see Savion step up. Some of maybe these long shot guys like the Malik Heath, obviously Mecole Hardman, even a guy like Nair. I really am starting to like what he's done, and I just think that also it increases the likelihood that Bo Melton makes the initial 53 quite a bit, just for break glass in case of emergency type situations. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little nervous.
Right. We're going to hit this injury report, wrap this segment up here. Jason, I'm going to hit your super chat. I'll just keep it on the screen real quick. Just a quick rundown of the other injuries. Okay, Savion Williams is also not practicing today. Returning was Izzy Abanikanda with the hammy, so he's trying to get back into the fold there and potentially win a spot on that practice squad. Obviously, did not participate was Romeo Dobbs, Jordan Love, Zane Anderson, Xavier McKinney, Jaden Reed, Dontavion Wicks, and Nate Hobbs. As those are all starters, right? Well, with the exception of Zane, those are all starters, correct?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. It's pretty impressive that the team did as well as they did on defense, in my opinion, without Xavier McKinney, without Nate Hobbs, right? Anderson obviously is one of those rotational guys when you get into the 2s and the 3s. So there's your injury report in its entirety.
I feel like if any of those were really that bad, they would be more worried about the wide receiver issue currently. Like Goody would be trying to, do more to bring in wide receivers if they were actually worried about long-term things there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. All right, so there you go. There's your injury report. Let's hit the super chat, and then we'll get into the offensive side of the ball. Jason Watt, thank you so much, buddy. He says, what do you make of Orlovsky's quarterbacks by trait chart? Jason, I seen that come through. I don't know if you guys seen it or not, but I seen it come through, and I didn't spend a whole lot of time looking at it. I peeped a couple of players on it, but I was listening to the McAfee show the day that they brought it up, and Dan Orlovsky sounded embarrassed by it. Like, it was just like Aaron Rod, when he grades them by traits, right? And one of the traits is mechanics. It's like, okay, how does their mechanics look? Aaron Rodgers didn't make the top 10 in mechanics, and they roasted the hell out of Dan Orlovsky over. It's like, this guy is known as the greatest thrower of the football in the history of the game, and he didn't make the top 10 in mechanics. And Dan Orlovsky went, yeah, I really don't have an answer for that. So it's like, who made you put this list together? And obviously it's people at ESPN that did. So I don't put any stock in it at all, Jason, because I think that a large majority of the quarterbacks in the league, they have damn near top level traits on most of those traits, like mechanics and things like that, or else they wouldn't be in the league. Yeah, I'm a boring fan. I don't look at the league and go, boy, that's a bunch of bad. There's a handful of good players and a bunch of bad players. I don't look at it that way. I look at the way Coach McCarthy used to say, there's no bad players in the NFL. You got good players and great players. And most of the time, the difference between a good and a great player is the position they're put in, the surrounding cast, the scheme. Does it fit what they do well? All those things, right? So I don't put a whole lot of stock in it. What do you guys think? Did y'all get a chance to see that chart by chance?
I didn't.
No.
Okay. We could probably pull it up if y'all wanted to, but
Love was outside of the top 10. Rodgers wasn't on there. I mean, that's
Rodgers did not make the top 10. And again, this is it. He didn't make the top 10 overall. He didn't make the top 10 overall. No, this is just for quarterbacks right now in the league. But the mechanics thing was what blew me away. When they brought it up, I just tuned it out. I'm like, okay, that's just absolutely ridiculous.
Right.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is dropping off or not? That dude. Anyone who says he is not top 10 in mechanics of throwing the football, what are we doing? You know? So anyway, I love somebody just randomly, and thank you for the super chat, Jason Watt. Somebody just randomly said Caleb Williams is bad. Let me ask you guys this. Well, we're way off the mark here tonight.
We haven't gotten anything.
What's new, man? This is.
Yeah. Did you guys hear about Ben Johnson's comments? Who was I listening to? I was listening to somebody earlier today. I think it was the McAfee show, actually. Yeah. And they said that they played the audio from Ben Johnson, and it sounds like Caleb didn't play in the first preseason week because he's struggling to pick up the offense,
Yes.
terminology and everything.
I did hear that.
And Ben Johnson said, yeah, we threw everything at him, and then we'll dilute that down. We just want to test him as much as we can. But it sounds like, Jacob, he didn't even have enough grab of the offense for them to feel comfortable putting him on the field is what it sounds like. And again, the guys on the McAfee show, the way they responded to that was they said, dang, if you put him out there and you can't even call the play, you don't even understand where guys are supposed to be, you're going to embarrass the hell out of him. You're going to kill his confidence, right? What does that tell you guys about Caleb? I'm telling you, man, elite arm talent. There's no two ways about it. But up here, there's something missing there. There's something missing. Anyway, Jacob, go ahead. And we'll try not to make nail polish if we can.
No, I won't. Already done that enough. We'll get to your super chat in a second here, Dan. I heard multiple things about that. I think even maybe Ryan commented on some sort of report that said that up until this whole last week that he couldn't get him aligned right. He couldn't even get the play calls in. He couldn't. I mean, he was struggling with the terminology to the point where they had to, we heard about early in preseason where they were stopping practice, making guys realign. Ben having a little bit of crashes out and rage outs. I would have imagined that had you, like you just said, if the mental capacity was all there, I feel like Ben, that to me sounds like a lie, Ben. We're going to throw everything at him and just overload him while we're trying to get him ready for a new season. And like that to me seems the opposite of what a guy would do if you're coming in with a brand new system, brand new coach with a new player. They complain so much that Caleb has never had consistency with the coaching staff that he's had while he's in Chicago up to this point. So why would you sit there and try to overload him, make him basically mentally fizzle out to the point where you're not even willing to throw him on the field? There may be I don't know. I smell some doo-doo. You know what I'm saying? I think
get ready to go.
Yeah, Emilio, what do you think on this, man? Because I'm kind of with Jacob. Like to me, it sounds like it was Ben Johnson almost providing an excuse before there's a reason for an excuse. Like, yeah, we really threw the book at him. Type thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Ben Johnson's asking way too much right now for Caleb, and I want to say it was Greg Cosell or Ross Tucker, one of them were talking about Caleb just if he's going to start, he really needs to up the processor a little bit. He was doing good things. He was doing this good, that good. But I'm pretty sure it was Ross Tucker. Like the fact that he's not playing in the preseason games when you need to be getting reps to your players on a new offense with a new O-line and all this stuff, it doesn't make any sense. Why are you trying to hide him or pull the curtain cover over his eyes, whatever? Like that's not going to help the team in the long run. You might as well bite the bullet and take the hit. If you're worried about the media, take the hits now in preseason so that it can get shaken off and try to move forward. That's how I'd probably approach it. But I want that. I mean, if he's gonna go up in flames, it's got to happen on the field. It can't be happening in practice behind closed doors.
You know what this is the equivalent of? When me and Mandy go out to dinner and we hit up Tupelo honey or something and we bring back just the most amazing leftovers, and then Clayton wakes up at 3 a.m. and gets in the kitchen, and grabs him a snack, right? It would be like her rolling out of bed the next morning, walking in the kitchen, immediately looking at her and go, I didn't eat your leftovers. That's what it feels like. That's what seriously, it's like you could tell he's a little